Right, okay, fine. So in the last class, we discussed about the database creation, how to create the database using GUI. Okay. So in this session, we'll discuss how to create the database using query. Okay. How to create the database using the query method. Right. So if you just expand, you can see the batch 52, right? Let me create one more database using GUI. I'll show you. Okay. In case while doing anything, while doing any action in the management studio, if you want to script out that action, you can do that. Okay. For example, you don't know what is the query to create the database. So if you want to check what is the query to create the database and all, you can script out the action, guys. Say, for example, now I'm creating one more database called Amazon. Right, and the database owner is SCA. Okay, so now I'm just keeping all the values as it is, guys. In the last class, we discussed about each value, each column, what it will do, how to identify whether the file is data file or log file, right? And how to check the initial size, how to change the initial size, how to set the auto growth, how to change the file path, everything we discussed in the last class. Now I just gave the database name and owner, right? So now I want to script out this action. In case if you want to see, when I click OK here, when I click OK, I told you, right, GUI is only for our purpose. Windows machine don't know the GUI, right? SQL Server also don't know what is GUI. It will run everything in terms of queries only, but we don't know what is the query to create the database, right? So when I click OK, what it will do exactly, I'll show you what kind of query it will run. Just click on the script button. You can see script button, right? If you click on the script button, you can see when I click OK in the back end, what kind of script it will run to create the database. Okay, if you see here, see how much big script is there to create the database, guys. See here, right? If you see here, it just started from here, create database name. From here onwards, see how much big script is there to create a single database, right? When I click OK, when I click OK, SQL Server will run the whole script. Okay, SQL Server will run the whole script and then it will create the database. But can you remember this much query to create the database, guys? If I want to create the database, you have to write a query. If you want to write a query, you have to write this much query. So can you remember this much query to create one database? Is it possible?
No.
Not possible, right? So
Yes,
this window will help you to generate the query. Whatever GUI you can see, all the GUI options at the end of the day, it will generate the query. SQL Server don't understand GUI. We don't know what is the query to create a database or to create any object. This GUI window will help you. Don't think when I click OK, database will be created. No, you are clicking OK for generating the script. That script will run in the back end. This script will run in the back end to create the database, guys. Like this, whatever things you are doing, everything can be scripted out by using that option, scripted out option. If you have any activity, say for example, I'm creating a new database. If I'm just clicking script out option, see, you'll get one error here. What is that error? You must enter a name. You have to give some inputs, then you have to script it out. If you don't do any action, it will simply show you no action to script it out. Like that kind of error, you will get it. Okay, no action to script it out. So you can create a database using GUI method, or you can create database using query method also. You can create database using GUI method. You can also create the database using query also. So now what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to execute this query. Okay, instead of clicking OK, I'll just click cancel and I'll execute this query. Now you don't see Amazon database, right? So this is called parse button. Okay, what is this, guys? This is called parse button. What it will help? What it will do? What this parse button will do? Parse button will check any syntax errors or semantic errors. Okay, so parse button will check any syntax errors or semantic errors. See, if you can see here, total, how many lines of code, guys? You can see here, line 83. Okay, line 83. 83 lines of code is there. Guys, no need to remember this much code, not required. Okay, so total 83 lines of code is there. So for example, if there is a mistake here, how to identify? For example, I'm doing one mistake here, right? So now if you see here generally, why it is not showing? It should show actually. Yeah, now you can see here. See, there is an underline, a red mark. You can see here, a red underline here for some of the objects, right? Why? Because this is called error. If you see any underlines, red underlines, guys, this is the error. Maybe there is an issue. If there is an issue here, the same error will continue. See here, it is simply showing, if you keep your cursor here, it is simply showing could not find stored procedure create. And if you just keep your cursor here, incorrect syntax near name. Even though you have issue here, but it will also show you, it will also show the issue in other lines also. I just removed one E, but you can see here one issue, here one issue, here one issue, here one issue. Because of one E, see how many errors you can see, right? So if you can see any red underline, then you can see, right, while typing anything in the Word document, not Word, yeah, Microsoft Windows Word. So when you're typing anything, you can see if the spelling mistake is there, you can see generally red line. Okay, you can see the red line. In the same way, in the query window, if any queries are wrong, if any syntax errors are there, syntax error, you know what is syntax error, guys? Spelling mistake. Not spelling mistake exactly. Syntax means it's a command. If you are not writing that command properly, that is syntax errors. What is semantic errors? What is semantic errors? For example, imagine there is a
Special
table.
characters like
Not,
comma.
not special characters. Not special characters. For example, there is a table. Okay, and if the table you are trying to execute one query, you gave the right answer. I mean to say, you are writing a query that's correct query only. Select star from something like employee. Select star from employee. So everything is correct only. The spelling and all everything is correct. But in case if the table does not exist, if the table does not exist, that is called semantic errors, guys. Okay, now instead of checking the errors here, you can also use this parse button. This parse button will tell you any errors are there. See how many errors are there. Line 150, message 156, line 15, incorrect syntax near the keyword database. Like this, you can see everything, message 911. So you can see every error and all you can see here. That's how you can see. Okay, this is how generally you can see the syntax and semantics errors. So as a DBA, whenever you are executing any query, before click on execute button, what you have to do, guys, always it's best practice to check whether the query, the script is right or wrong. Why? Because if 800 lines of code is there, I cannot check, right? You can see here, generally see here in this cursor also it is showing a red line, means here there is an issue, here there is an issue, here there is an issue. But if it is like 800 lines of coding is there, you cannot check each and every line where is the error and all. So always the best recommended practice, whenever you are executing any query, just parse it. Before executing the query, just parse it. When you parse the query, it will show you any errors are there or not. If no errors are there, it will show you command completed successfully. If any errors are there, it will simply show you the errors, guys. So let me fix this error now. I am just adding E here. Now you can see all the lines and all, like the red lines and all gone. Now again just parse it. You can see, yeah, that's okay. It is showing like, why it is showing like this, I'll tell you. Okay, why? Because it has to execute other lines also, right? Based on this line, it has to execute other lines also. So database, Amazon does not exist like that. It is showing for other things like here. To run this, to use this query, it is showing like the database does not exist. Okay. So now let's create this execute, guys. Now let's create the database. Database Amazon does not exist makes you. Why? Okay. Am I selecting any specific line? Okay. Now let me execute again. Done. Okay. So now command completed successfully. Now you can see, even though the command is successfully executed, still you cannot see the database here. What I have to do here?
You have to refresh.
I have to refresh every time I have to refresh, guys. Whatever you are doing, always make a habit to refresh the instance, the whole instance. Always make a habit to refresh the whole instance so that, okay, the changes and all you can see in the management studio. And now you can see, okay, so Amazon is the database that you can see, guys. Now, can anyone tell me what is the query to create a database? I'm going to open new query window. Okay, new query window. So how to open new query window? In two ways we can open new query window. Actually, three ways you can open new query window. One is right click here, new query window. This is called one query window. We can say it is a it. We can say this as a session. This is one session. This is one session. Like that, how many people are connected? That many sessions will be there. Now I just connected to this, but I opened two sessions, right? So one person can open multiple sessions. I can open one more session. So whenever you open a new query window, always one session will open. What is session? This is a temporary work area of the user. What is the session, guys? A temporary work area. Whatever you are creating, whatever you are doing, whatever you are executing, you can execute. The changes will be applied on the server. Once your work is completed, you can close the session. Okay. So this is how the sessions will be. Session is nothing but a temporary work area of the user. He can write whatever his requirement is there, he can write it in this session. He can execute. Once the execution is done, he can simply close the session. You can see one number here, right? Whenever you open a session, you can see one number here. What is that number, guys? Session ID. What is that, guys? Session ID. This is called session ID. Why? Because other people has to track, right, what Shanmukh is doing, what kind of queries he is running, what kind of changes he is doing. Others should be able to track, right? So they can track using this session ID, guys. Okay, they can track easily using this session ID. So this is called session ID. I can see all the sessions of the users in the SQL server. I can see what queries they are running, what kind of changes they are doing. I can easily track it in the same way. Others also can track my work. So this is how generally we can use the session and all. Session is a temporary work area to execute the queries and all. Okay. Every session will have a session ID. Right. Now, what is the query to create the database, guys? Can anyone tell me what is the query to create the database?
Create space database.
Right.
Create database name.
Very good. So now, can I create database like this? Create database. Database is like Flipkart. Okay. Can I
No, sir.
execute this query? Is it possible?
No, sir.
If I execute this just three words, can I create the database with just these three words?
Yes. Yes, you can create.
Semicolon.
Tell me, guys. Guess it.
Eh,
Semicolon not required. I guess you are from Postgres or something like that. So generally, some of the SQL languages it needs semicolon. But in the T-SQL, the query language that we are using, that is T-SQL, Transact SQL. Okay, Oracle will use PLSQL, guys. Oracle will use PLSQL. So this is just a language. If I want to talk to SQL server, I have to use one language called T-SQL language. If I want to talk to Oracle servers, I have to use one language called PLSQL. So like that, we have all our SQL languages only. Structured query language. SQL means SQL means structured query language, guys. Structured query language. Now, Now, so can I create the database using these three words? Is it going to allow me?
Yes.
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 Sir, semicolon?
Yes.
No, not required. That's just now we discussed it, right? Semicolon is not required in the SQL Server. Okay,
Okay, sir.
right. So now let's go and check. So what I have to do before executing the query?
Parse.
Parse it.
Parse.
Okay, so always remember to parse the query. Any query it is, whether small or big query, anything it is. Now let's execute this. Execute. Done. It was successfully created. So Shanmugh, just now you said 81 lines of coding to create a database, but now just now you created a database with a simple three words. How that is possible, Shanmugh? Right, guys? Is it a valid question? It's a
Yeah.
valid question.
Yes,
See,
it is.
now
It
whenever
took the default
very,
values.
very good. Yeah. So whenever you're executing any query, don't think SQL Server will execute the same three words of query in this scenario. Generally, in some scenarios, whenever you're executing any query, don't think only these three words are executing. Right? So now you can ask Shanmukh, you didn't set initial size of the data file. You didn't set initial size of the log file. You didn't give any path where these files has to be created. You didn't set the auto growth. You didn't set the database owner. But how come, without giving all these values, how come you're able to create a database?
Master.
Not master exactly. So you are almost correct, but not master. Okay. So we will have, yeah, model. So we will have default parameters, guys. Default parameters. Okay. So whenever you're executing any query, database engine will add all the default values to this query. See here, if you see the here also the query started like that only, create database, database name, then all the default values you can see here. So whenever you're executing any query, in some cases, SQL Server will add some more parameters, some extra parameters to this query. So those parameters, like in case if they are default values, if you want to create database with a default path, then if you don't want to give any specific path, you can just give like this. Why? Because if it is a default value, SQL Server will add in the backend, guys, while executing this query. Are you getting my point? If you want to create any object with default values, SQL Server will add those values during the execution of the queries. So that's why even though without giving any options, still without giving any options, still, still I'm able to create the database. Don't think SQL Server will execute only these three words. Why? Because where it will create the database, where it will create the data file, where it will create the log file. Database means it's must and should, you should have a data file and log file. Your data file and log file means you have to give the path. You haven't gave any path. Here I gave the path. If you see here, file name, logical file name, I gave the path. For data file, for log file, I gave the path, but here I didn't give any path. Where it was created, just took the default values. Who gave the default values? So whenever you are executing the query, it will, SQL Server will add some default parameters, guys. That's how it will execute the query, guys. Right? So now I just created the database, right? Just refresh it. I cannot see the database flip card. Just refresh it. You can still see the database flip card. Okay. So this is how generally you can create the database using query or using GUI options, guys. Any questions here? 239ALPBG248. Who is that? Muthumarina?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, done, done, done.
Yes, Shanmugh. Only in two ways we can create the database, or
No, only two ways. Only two ways. We don't have any other way. I mean to say either GUI or query. That's it. These two are these are the two ways we can create the database.
So the default values are defined in somewhere.
Yes, yes. By default, see, I'll tell you while discussing the system databases. Okay, so
Okay.
how come it gave the path? What kind of initial size it gave? From where it took all these default values? Okay, actually there is a system database called model database, right? So that model database will help us to get all the default values,
Okay.
right? Okay, so now I just created the database, right, without giving database owner. Okay, in the last case, I just added the database owner. If you go down, you can see the database owner query. Okay, where is that database set SCA, something like that owner will be there. Let SCA, use database, This is the database. Okay, and somewhere it will not set. Okay, chalo. Now if you go and check here, I can see using one stored procedure using one stored procedure sp underscore help db. By using this stored procedure, I can see all the database names, their sizes, the database owners, everything I can see, guys. Okay, so now if you see here, this is my all the database names, including system databases, Amazon, Batch52, Flipkart, user database, then system databases you can see. And the database size also you can see using this query. And owner, I told you, right, database owner you can see, right? So I guess we
Yeah.
haven't changed the database owner. That's why it's not showing in the query, right? So database owner you can see. So now Batch52, that is the first database I have created, right? So Batch52, I just set the owner as SCA. So I can see the owner as SCA, and all other system database also it's showing SCA. SCA means sysadmin, system administrator, anything you can call, guys. Okay. Now for Amazon and Flipkart, I didn't give any owner option. So still you can see that my database owner will be the user, those who created the database. It took their name as a owner. So is it good, guys, keeping the individual users as owners?
No.
No. So this
No.
is not a good option. You can change. How to change the database owner after creating the database? Go to the properties of the database. Simple, very simple. Go to file space. Here you can see, right? Just select this. No need to delete. Just simply type SCA and then click OK. So it's not a downtime activity. Okay, it will be affected immediately. Just now I change it to Amazon, right? So now Amazon is changed to SCA. Or else, Shanmukh, I want to know the query, right? So let me show you what query we'll use. Okay, Talli. Thank you. Right, okay. So now let me go to properties. Again, I'm going to show you. Go to file space. This is SCA only, right? What is the other database? Flipkart. Let me go to Flipkart properties. File space. SCA, I'll change it to SCA. Now you can script out this action. Whatever changes I did, you can script out this action. So now you can see what is the query. Okay. Use database name. Okay. And alter authorization on database Flipkart to SCA. I'm changing the owner, right? Authorization I'm changing from Flipkart, for Flipkart database to SCA login. In case if you want, generally we don't need to remember these queries, guys. But if you want to see what query and all it is running, you can simply generate the script of that query, and then you can see what kind of query it is going to run for each and every action. So each and every action will have different queries, guys. Each and every action will have different queries, right? Chalo. Now remember
So,
one.
can you tell me this query? I didn't understand. Go this. Yeah. Go master. So these are three commands, or this is one SQL.
These are three commands. It will run when you click on execute or when you click on OK button. These commands will run, and then it will try to change the ownership from another user to SC account.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Fine. So whenever you're running any command, any script, this is very important, very, very important, guys. So on which database you are running that command, you have to check multiple times. Believe me, genuine people also will do this kind of mistakes in the organization. And instead of one database, for example, you want to delete one table. You are running one query. Accidentally, instead of Amazon database, you deleted the table from the Flipkart database. Accidentally, you ran the query in the Flipkart database. So believe me, guys, because of small mistakes also, you are going to lose your job, even though you are a genuine candidate. Some companies, that's okay, fine, by somehow they are going to again achieve it. But some companies, they don't allow even small mistake also. So always remember one thing, whenever you're executing a query, you have to cross check two things. One is just parse it. Second one is on which database it is running. You can see here which database it was selected here. It is running, it is going to run on that database. Or else you can also see here which database it is showing. Means you're opening one connection from this database and you're running these things.
So,
Right? Yes, please.
So when you parse, it will show the database.
It will show the database. See, depends upon the script that you are using. Okay, even though you parse also, it will show the database. The database is something different. Okay, database you have to mainly you have to concentrate on the database name while executing the query. Parse, no issues. Parse and all, no issues. But for example, here one table is there in the Amazon database, but you are executing this query in the Flipkart database. If you parse it, will simply throw you there is no such object kind of things. While parsing also, it's good to select the database. Okay, so now I can change this database in multiple ways. I can use Batch52. I can simply select the, for example, I want to run one query on Batch52. How to run it? Right click on Batch52. You can open new query window directly. That is one option. Or else already you have a query window, right? Select the query window. If you select this, it will be disabled. You cannot change. You have to select the query window, then it will be enabled. Then you can select the database from the drop down. This is one option. Or else there is one more option. There is a query also to do that. What is the query? Use database name, Flipkart. Okay, use Flipkart. So I'm switching from one database to another database, guys. I'm switching from one database to another database. Now, whatever queries you are running, these queries will run on master database. If you want to change it to Flipkart, you can simply select Flipkart here. But if you want to go with the query method, you have to type this command and you have to execute. See here, now it is showing master, right? Here also it is showing master, right? Now when you execute, the context will be changed to Flipkart. So if you see use and all, what is the use means? In some of the queries just now you have seen use, right? Use database name means it is changing the context from one database to another database. What is the use of the use command? It is going to change the context. It is going to change the database name from one database to another database. So if you want, you can do it from the drop down. But imagine now I can see only like 6 or 7 databases. But in the organization, if you see 100 databases, again, how you are going to go down and go up to select the database? So the best option to change the database is use database name. That's it. Automatically, it will change the context from one database to another database. For example, I want to change it to Batch52 now. Batch52. You will get the suggestions while typing. Okay. And if you execute now it was changed to Batch52. Okay. So this is how generally you can change the database context or database name from one database to another database using this use query, guys. Using this use query. Okay. So now Yes.
I have one more question.
Yes, yes.
So if now you have opened one server, if there are two servers open, one is QA and one production, then you are running something in QA and it goes into production. I mean, here you have one server in the machine right now. If you have two bars for, there is a window DP1, but if we, you can go.
Always, see, just now we discussed this. Always you have to be very careful while executing the query. For example, imagine you have two servers. Now I don't have two servers, but I'm just trying to connect one more server with the same name. Or else let me do this.
Yeah.
Instead of this, I'll select this so that it will show you like a database in server name. Now imagine this is production. Imagine this is a QA. Okay. So while executing the query, what you are going to do, if you want to execute any query, you will open the new query window. That is the best practice. I'll do. Why? Because instead of facing challenges and all, simply I'll go to QA server. I'll right click. I'll open new query window. So that definitely it will open a query window from QA server only. Okay. But imagine this is a production server, right? If you see here, this is a server name. But if you are trying to execute the query, if there is such objects like databases and all in the production also, it will execute. Blindly it will execute whatever query you will run here in this window, the whole query will execute. So to avoid this, always make sure to open a new query window. Cross check it where you are running. You can cross check the server name here. You can cross check the database name here. In that way, you can avoid always while running the queries. These two are very important parameters on which server you are running, on which database you are running. These two are very important, guys.
So when you are in this session, in this window, the bottom one is showing for this window?
Yes, that's it. See, here you cannot run any QA queries. Okay.
Oh.
So the server name, whatever you are like, it is showing here, whatever queries, it is going to run on prod only. If you are running queries on QA, for example, if it is QA, you can see local, right? So even though you are running, even though you are running some prod queries, for example, here if you are running, it will run in this particular server only. Okay, it is not going to run on the production server. But the challenge is, if same kind of objects are there in the QA server, getting my point?
If the objects are same tables are in production and QA,
correct,
yes.
it will create the problem.
Then it will execute.
Getting my point? It will create the problem. If same kind of objects are there. For example, you are dropping one table, drop table name employee. So this you have to execute on the non-prod server, QA server. By mistake, you just executed on the production server. If employee table is there, and if you select the database, automatically that table will be dropped from the production server also. That you cannot do anything. So that's
if you update, insert or delete something, it's auto commit.
Yes, of course, if you give transactions like this, okay, it will be auto committed. Insert into table name, whatever it is, employee, okay, values, and 1 comma something like Tausif, okay, and comma something from USA. You are just executing this query. This is an auto committed transaction. This is an auto committed transaction. But if you are executing begin tran and you are not giving commit, then it's an uncommitted transaction. If you are giving commit, generally when you are executing this, SQL server will add these two parameters. If you don't give commit and all, SQL server will add these two parameters. If you give begin tran, but if you don't give commit, okay, it don't commit the transaction. Why? Because it will wait. Manually you are giving begin tran, but you didn't give manually commit, right? So it will wait for the manual commit. But if you are not giving any parameters, it's again auto committed transaction.
But for your session before commit, it will show you in the table.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
But not for other sessions.
No.
Yes.
It's not like that. It's not like that. See, it's not like that. Whenever I'm inserting any table, it will show you in the same session. Not like that. It will change the database. So Everything you can see in case if you are running any queries, if you are trying to change the database, either using some commands, insert, update, deletes, whatever, if it was executed once, you can see in every session.
This is really very scary if you have
Of
open
course.
multiple
course.
servers and you are deleting or dropping something in
That's
QA.
why I told you. That's why I told you before running the query, you have to cross check where you are running, what you are running, on what server you are running, on what database you are running. Again, I know a lot of people, those who lost their jobs because of these things.
So, okay. And one more thing, the SQL Server have some audit tables where I can see all the, as a DBA, I can
We can
use
do.
all the users, they can insert update.
You can see that. Not by default, you have to run some custom scripts to track all these changes and all.
Oh, there are no default
No
tables?
default, no default. Function DB log is there, you can check it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Sir, in organization also, we need to check the owner as SA only.
In organization also, we need to.
Mention the owner as SA.
Yes, of course. That's why we discussed it. All the databases should be SCA only. The owners of all the databases should be SCA only. But sometimes you can see service account username here. Instead of individual accounts, you can see service account name here. Okay. So in such scenarios, okay, that's not an issue. Service account or SCA, those are the permanent logins. Those accounts are not going to be deleted. Okay. But any temporary logins like any usernames and all is not good. It's not like it's not acceptable, but it's not good. It's not a recommended practice to have individual users as owners.
So one more question, that when you are using use batch52, it means you are making sure any command will run under this database, right?
I'm opening a connection here. Okay, I'm opening a connection from batch52. Whatever now you will run, it will run on the batch52 database.
But is there any command which will also add here so that you can put it's a QA server or it's a
What it will add, it is going to add?
So when I'm batch 52 is a database which is in QA and production. Now under this command, can we mention that, okay, run in QA product per prod?
That is not possible, not possible.
That is not possible. Oh, I see.
That is not at all possible. If it is QA, then only you run this. If it is fraud, inform me.
And then you are perfectly safe.
Yeah, that is not possible.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Is this SA account is the same as like a proxy account?
Kind of proxy account, but not exactly a proxy account.
Proxy account will be created by us, or else who will be created?
Proxy account, default proxy accounts will be there, but we can also create a proxy account.
The procedure is same?
Yeah, same procedure. No.
And regarding that, if we have deleted a table in the production, can't we roll back?
We cannot roll back if it is committed. If the transaction is committed, we cannot roll back. Again, there is a separate method. Using those methods, again, you have to restore the single table. Okay, there are different scenarios. For example, if the production table is deleted, the transaction is committed. So in such scenarios, if the table is not there, how we are going to fix the issue? Only chance is sometimes with the existing database backups, again we'll restore the database, the whole database. For example, now someone dropped one table in the batch52 database. So in the organization, we'll have regular backups, full backups, differential backups, log backups. Don't worry, everything will be discussed, guys.
Okay.
So using these backups, will restore the database in another server with a different name. Okay. And once we restore that particular database, we'll get all the objects, right? Like including tables. Then we'll export that particular table. That is one way. In case if there is no proper backups also, sometimes the data will be same in the production and QA. If users are okay, no problem. Users will do these kind of mistakes, guys, generally. So this is our headache. A user will drop one table accidentally and again he'll come back to us, hey DBA, this table is dropped accidentally. Can you restore it? Can you recover it? So that if it is non-prod, we can simply restore it from the prod using import export method. If it is a prod, again you have to use the existing backups to restore the table. It's not like simple rollback is not possible. This is the way we have.
So for that also we should take proper approvals.
Of course, of course, of course. Please, yeah. Your voice is too low. Anyone is talking, guys?
Shiva Gurunath.
Yeah, Shiv Gurunath, tell me.
Now we create a database name.
Mm-hmm.
It is automatically stored in C drive.
Technically, yes.
Like,
Yes. Why? Because this database files will be created in C drive, right? So technically, the table also will be stored in the C drive files.
we can change it in another drive.
We can do that. That is possible. That is possible. In case if you create a table in one path, if you want to change the path of the table directly, it is not possible. Again, we have different methods, like we have to create some indexes on a specific file group so that it will drop the table in the existing location and it will recreate in the new file.
Oh, that's all. We backup and restore in
That also,
particular.
yeah, that is also possible. Or else we can create a, there is an option called index, clustered index. When you create a cluster index, it's actually drop the existing table. So while creating cluster index, you can give the file group name. So when you give the file group name, automatically in which drive you want, it will be created in that particular drive. That is the option. There is no direct movement option, like right click copy, right click paste option is not there.
Any possible to GI?
Not possible. There is no GUI option. That's what right click copy, right click paste means GUI, right? So GUI option is not possible. Only through queries we can do that.
Okay.
Clear, guys? So again, I'm saying whenever you're writing any queries, whenever you're executing any queries, what you have to do, what are the two important things, guys? What are the two important things that you have to keep in mind?
Database.
One needs to check the database name.
Always check the database name. Sometimes users will give scripts. Hey, DBA, please execute this script. So what you have to check in that script? You can open
Which
the
database?
script.
Database.
Correct. Very good. On which database user is asking us to execute. Sometimes database names will present inside the scripts. Sometimes it won't present. Okay. So if there is no database name, like no use database name kind of thing, then you have to ask, hey, on which database I have to run the script. You cannot like imagine something and you cannot run it. Okay, this might be this database and all. If database name is there, generally they will start with use database name only. If there is no such query, you can ask them, hey, on which database we have to execute this query. So they will include that query also in that particular one, or else they will simply update us, hey, you can execute this on Amazon database or Flipkart database. But always it should be like a written proof. Tomorrow he'll come as and again he can tell that no, I didn't tell Amazon. You just wrongly heard about it. I just told Flipkart. These kind of situation scenarios will come in the organization. So whatever user is asking, always better ask him to update the ticket so that written proof will be there. Tomorrow morning, if again, no, I didn't tell Amazon database, it's Flipkart database, wrongly heard about it. So again, we are the responsible persons, right? Whatever is user saying, ask them to update in the ticket so that there will be a proof for future also. In case of any auditing also, you can show this proof. Otherwise, again, it will come on your head only. Okay, it's a big problem. Right? Always remember these things, guys. These are very important in case user is saying something. Okay. Tell them like, please update the ticket so that I can start working on this and all. Like you can politely, you can tell them. Okay. Fine, guys. Right. Now we are good Now we are good to create the tables. Okay. So why? Because if I want to create any table, first of all, I should have a database, right? So once the database created, then I can create the tables, right? So now let's create the tables, guys. Let's create the tables. So generally in the organization, we don't create the tables. The tables will be created through application, or users will create the tables. Okay, either the tables will be created through application, whatever application they are using, through application the tables will be created, or else simply use developers itself will give, okay, the query and all, or they will only execute, okay, create commands and all. So if I want to create any table, okay, I want to create some table. For example, I have different databases. Imagine we have an offers going on, right, for Diwali sale and all. I want to create one table in Amazon database. So how I have to start? What is my starting point, guys? If I want to create a table in the Amazon database,
Use the database.
Use
use Amazon. I can choose from this drop down, or I can simply right click on the database. I can open a query window from the Amazon database so that you can see Amazon here itself. Right. I want to create a table, right? Table means what? 2 1 ja 2 2 2 ja 4 table, right? What is table? Table is nothing but a collection of related data entries. Okay.
Where we can
Table
store
is
data.
nothing but, yeah, table is nothing but collection of related data entries. We can say collection of rows and columns. Okay. Collection of rows and columns. So I want to create a table, right? So what I want to create? Table.
Table.
Create table. What is the table name? Something like sales. Create table, table name sales. Every table, at least one column will be there, right? So I have to give the column names, right? So how to give the column names? Open the brackets. Now you can give the column name. Okay, sale ID, something like that, or simply like order ID. Order ID. Now, if you go to some Kirana shop, you want to buy some fruits. What you will tell, guys? You want to buy fruits. You want to buy bananas. What you will tell? Of course, you will ask, right? So you have to give some metrics. What metrics you will give? What metrics you will tell to that particular shop owner? 1 kg
Dozen
banana,
egg.
dozen
Dozen
eggs,
banana.
right? 1 kg bananas or 1 kg apples, right? In case if you are buying milk, 1 liter milk packet, right? So for every item, there are some units, right? There are some units, right?
Numerical.
In the same way, order ID, what kind of values it has to accept, guys? What kind of
Numbers.
values it has to accept? Integers,
Numerical
number,
values.
something like that. So every column, remember, every column, you have to mention the data type. What type of data it has to accept in that particular column. Getting my point, guys? Every column you have to define the data type, what type of data it has to accept, so that it will accept that particular data type. Okay, right? If you go to same 1 liter oil, 1 kg oil, or 1 liter milk, or dozen eggs, or 1 kg apples, something like that. In the same way, you have to give the data type also. So we have different types of data types. If it is milk, how we are going to choose its liters, right? Milk, water means liters only, right? Milk and waters means liters only. If it is gold, grams, kgs, I cannot ask 1 liter gold, right? That is not possible. So every item has its own data type. In the same way, order ID, what kind of data? So we have different types of data. So integer will accept numbers. Okay, numbering kind of data it will accept, right? So like that we have integers, different types of data types, guys. We have integer, character, varchar max, var binary max, float, double, money, time, date, text, and text. These are the different data types we have. As per the requirement, we are going to use it. Shanmukh, I don't know what I have to select, what kind of data type I have to select. This is not our headache. This will be taken care by the application team. They know as per their requirements, they are going to create the tables. What kind of data it has to accept, they are going to decide. Okay, you have to know these things. That doesn't mean we are going to perform these things in the organization. You have to know, that's it. Right, order ID, item name, second column. For after every column, I have to give comma, and then again I have to start second column name, item name, right? So item name can be like varchar of something like that, 100, right? And cost. Cost means generally what kind of data type we have? Money. We have money data type. You can give the money. So 3 columns. I am creating a table with 3 columns. So every column I just opened. See here, I just opened and then I have to close it. If you don't close it again, it will throw you the error. I just opened, I just closed it. Okay. Always these brackets should be in even numbers. Okay. If 2 brackets are there, I mean to say 2, 4, 6 kind of brackets will be there. This is 1 and this is another one, 2. Right? Again, this is 1 and this is another one, 4 brackets totally. So like that always, if it is odd number means somewhere it was not closed. So like that you can, in case if you are not closing here, if you are just hitting enter, okay, you will get the error here. See here, next line you can see the error. You can give the column, that bracket here also, it will be closed, the continuous. You can give here also, but not an issue. But you have to make sure you have to give the particular brackets and all, otherwise it will throw you the error. Now, I want to run this query. So what I have to do now before running this query? Parse it. Very good. Then
Execute.
Check on which database it is going to run, on Amazon database.
Amazon.
Then finally, if it is a single line, no other queries are there, you can directly execute. No need to select the query. How to select? You can just keep your cursor in the beginning of the line. The cursor will be changed to cross cursor. Just click once, automatically the whole line will be selected. Otherwise, you have to select the like this. Professionally, it's not good. If it is big line, keeping your 2 hands, 2 fingers, selecting like this is not good. Always habituate to use keyboard skills. I mean to say keyboard shortcuts and all. So in case if you are not getting like this, keep your cursor here, use shift plus down arrow. Okay. Or use shift plus your end button. Your end button will be there, so that the whole line will be selected like this. You should select. Okay. So just avoid selecting like this each and every word. It is not good. Select like this, or you can use, okay, the particular keyboard shortcuts also. Now I want to execute, right? Just execute it. So now it was successfully created, command completed out successfully. This is called output pane. What is this output pane? Results pane. You can see the results here, guys. Messages means results, whether it is right or wrong. You can see the results here, when it was executed, on which server it was executed, who executed the query. You can see here administrator executed the query, on which database he executed, how much time it took to execute, and in case if you are running any select queries and all, how many rows it is going to return. Everything you can see in this bar. And you can also see a success message. Just now we executed the query, right? You can also see a success message, query completed successfully. So now in which database I have created table? Amazon, right? Expand Amazon. Expand the tables. See here, table is created. Sales table. I just created table, right? So table is created. Right? So this is how generally we can create the table, guys. Now if I want to open this table, how to open this table? How to see the data in this table, guys? How to see the data in this table?
Select.
Select.
Start from.
Select.
Start from.
Start from.
Table name.
Very good. Okay. So guys, again, if I want to read any table, any data in the table, if I want to read any data in the table, so for read operations, I can use select query. Select means for read operations, we'll use it. Select, I want to read the records. I want to see the whole table, all the records in the table. So all means you have to use star. Star means it will pull all the records or all the columns, guys. What is that? All the records are columns. What it means? What is the meaning of star?
Columns.
All.
the all what? All records or all columns?
All the co-
Uh,
column.
everything columns.
All the table.
All the table.
Records and columns.
Gautam.
All the columns, sir.
All the columns.
Technically, it is all the columns. If it is all the columns, all the records you are pulling, right? Right? All the columns means every column it is going to pull means all the records. Generally, we might think star means all the records, but technically star means all the columns. If you are pulling all the columns, indirectly you are pulling all the records only. Now, from where you are pulling? From which table name? Sales table. Okay. So select star from sales. Can I execute this query now?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So what will be the output, guys? Can anyone tell me?
Blank.
Blank.
Blank. Blank.
Blank table.
No data.
Headings.
No data. Very good. I'm executing this query. Okay. Fine. Dig. Ticham. Now tell me, guys, where is the blank table I can see?
No. It,
You have to select the database.
yeah.
We have to re-verify while executing it.
It's running from batch 52.
Batch 52, sir. The database.
Yes. Now we discussed about it. So before executing the query, you have to always check the database name. Now itself we forgot. How come it was changed to batch 52 suddenly?
Used.
No, earlier it was Amazon, right? How come it was changed to batch 52? Have you seen anything like I changed the database?
Did not note it.
Did not notice, yes. I just paused my screen share and I changed the database wantedly. Just to see how many of you are going to.
Cheating, sir.
Yes.
Clever.
Yes. IT means cheating only. Right. Okay. So you have to again be careful, guys, while executing this query. Again and again, I'm saying always, if it is select query, not an issue. Imagine if it's a drop query, if it is an insert query, if it is an alter query, it will be a big headache. Always you have to check the database name. Okay. So again, I'm changing back to Amazon. Now, if I execute this query, I can see a blank table now. Okay, I can see a blank table, order ID, item name, cost. Why? Because I didn't inserted any records, right? So I can just see a blank table with these three columns. Order ID is one column, item name is one column, item cost is one column. So in this way, you can read the record. So let's insert some records now. Okay, let's insert some records. So what is the query to, guys, I'll show you GUI method also. Don't worry, I'll show you how to create tables using GUI, how to insert records using GUI also, I'll show you. Okay.
Insert into the values.
Yes, very good. Okay. So insert into. Okay. Insert into table name where you're inserting sales, right? What you're inserting? Values. Again, open the brackets. I'll start with one record. So I'm going to buy like a iPhone 14, something like that. Okay. And imagine the cost in India is around how much, guys? Cost, no need to give any single quotes. So only string values you can give in single quotes. Any name kind of thing, you have to give it in the single quotes, guys. Okay. Numbers and all, no need to give any single quotes. Okay. Let's go with 60,000. So with offer, it will be like something around 56,000, imagine. Okay, something like that. So now you can close this thing, close this particular record. So I'm just inserting one record. Okay, like that. If you want to insert the second record, okay, if you want to insert the second record, right, you can just copy paste it. Second record, third record. I'm just copy pasting fourth record, fifth record, like that. So let me change it. Okay, so this is like a, this is second record, this is third record, this is fourth record, this is fifth record. So now this is iPhone, right? And this is like something like OnePlus. This is around 36,000, imagine. And this is around, this is like a Samsung, okay? And 23, okay? And MI, okay? Something like this. And what is the other phone we have, guys?
Vivo.
Oppo,
Nokia.
Nokia. Right, okay. 1 minute, guys, just a minute. Right, okay. So now, can I execute all these insert queries at a time? Or I have to execute one by one?
Yes, yes.
You can execute at a time.
You can execute at a time.
I can execute at a time, right? So no
Yes.
problem. I
Yes.
can simply select all these lines. So now, do I need to select these lines, or I can directly, without selecting, I can directly execute? What
You
will
have to
happen if
select.
I click on execute? What will happen?
The first query.
Everything will be executed.
Very good. Okay, everything will be executed if I select. If I don't select, if I want to execute a specific lines, select like this and just click on.
Execute.
Tell me, guys, where I have to click?
First you can check parse.
Parse button.
Pass.
I can parse it first.
The database.
Sir, again, database.
Again you change it.
Database. So what is the shortcut key?
No shortcut. Stop the screen share and you can.
Oh, you just passed it.
I just paused the screen share and I
From
click
next
on.
time onwards, we will not answer the answer, sir. We'll check the database only.
Right. Okay. Fine. Okay. So,
That's lot of foods and lot of children.
yes. Right. Okay. So now you can change it back to Amazon and then you can select all the lines of query. You can parse it before executing. You can see command completed successfully, and then you can just again select these lines and then execute. So now every output, every line, you will get one output, one row affected, one row affected, one row affected. So how many lines you executed, right? So 5 lines you executed, right? 5 times you can see one row affected. Now if you see the records, now you can get the records in the table. So this is how you can see, this is how you can insert the records in the table, guys. Clear? But
Yes.
again, creating and inserting we don't do. But when users are writing the queries, at least you should be able to understand what kind of queries they are writing, right? At least you should be able to identify whether that is a create statement, select statement, insert statement, what it is doing. At least you should have basic idea of the scripting, guys. Okay, I mean to say what kind of queries they are writing, they are executing. You should have some idea so that it will be good for you. Okay, fine. So now what you can do, guys, take a break, come back after 15 minutes. So we'll discuss in the GUI method how to create tables, how to insert the records. Okay, I'll be in mute.
Sir, one small doubt.
Yes, yes, please.
Sir, those 5 insert statements are one transaction or everything is a single transaction?
Very good question. This is a single transaction. This is
Okay.
a single transaction. This will run as a
All
single
5
transaction.
lines is a single transaction.
Single transaction. Right.
If you are running individually means each transaction.
Correct.
So 5 transactions. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So I'll be in mute, guys.
One more question here.
We'll be discussed. We'll be discussed.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Right. Good. Fine. Okay. So questions, Tausif. Tausif is there.
I'm there. Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
So if you're saying this is one command, like insert into this, insert into this, insert. So if I will insert in sales, in second command, insert into another table, then insert into another table. So then I can run multiple commands like this.
You can run it. You can run
And
it.
there is no need of semicolon or something.
Not required. Not required. See, you can run one command here. You can run another command here. No issues. Okay. You can run multiple commands. See, in the SQL generally we don't give semicolon kind of thing. Okay. So generally we don't use.
If you use the same command like select command, 5 select command for different, so it will open 5 tabs.
Open it in the output. You can see 5 tables.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see 5 tables in the output.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. 1 minute. I just want. Right. Okay. So fine. So now, So let me show you the same thing using GUI. How to create tables using GUI. Okay. So I have a quick question for all of you. Okay. Very easy question, simple question only. Without changing the database name here. For example, now if I select this batch52. If I run this, generally I'll get the error invalid object name. Means in my batch 52, there is no table called sales. So that's why I'm getting this error invalid object name. Object means, I told you, right? Object means table. If you double click on this while running which query you are getting the error, it will be highlighted here. Okay, fine. Now, without changing the value database here, okay, without running use database name query, I want to still read the records in my sales table. How can I do that? Are you getting my question, guys? I don't want to change the database name here. If you change Amazon, if you run, you can run the select query. But without changing the database name here, without running use Amazon command, I want to run the select query. I want to see the records in the sales table. How can I do that?
Sir, we can do using from.
From?
Shall I start from sales where database name?
DB.
Where database name?
From DBO.
Hmm.
Before that, we should give the database name dbo.sales.
Okay, very good. Okay. So guys, listen carefully. Imagine this is your village. Imagine this is your village. So while writing the address, what you are going to write? You have to write your state, then your district, and then your village or town, whatever it is, right? In the same way, without changing the database name here, we can still read the table using database name Amazon dot schema name, which is the default DBO schema dot table name. Generally, developers will write the queries like this. Instead of use database name, they will also write the tables like this without giving use database name go. Still, they will reflect like imagine this is a kind of state, district, and your city or whatever it is, town or village. So in the same, this is the complete address of the table, guys. Okay, database name, schema name dot your table name. So if you execute now no need to change whatever database it can be. Okay, you can still execute the query. Here the database name also won't be changed. Okay, database name, still it is going to show you batch52 only, but still I can see the output, right? Still I can see the output, right? So this is how generally developers will write the queries. Okay, so if you see like this in the scripting, in the coding and all, don't think they are doing something rocket science and all, nothing. They are just simply calling the table using database name and schema name. Sometimes you can also see like this. Okay, so still you are able to get the data without mentioning schema name. Also you can get the data if it is the default schema. Okay, guys, in the last class we discussed about the physical hierarchy, right? What is the logical hierarchy of the table, guys? Physical hierarchy, you know that in instance databases, in database file groups, log file, in file groups will have data files, in data files will have extents, and then in extents will have pages. In each page the table will be created, right? What is the logical hierarchy? How logically these things will be organized? In SQL Server databases, same. In the database we'll have schema. In the schema we'll have table. What is schema? A logical container. Okay, logical container, you can call it as a schema, guys. Okay, it's a kind of container. Logically it will be located in the particular schema. So do we need to create schema? It's not mandatory, but tables definitely it will exist in the schemas only. But without creating schema, can I create the table? Yes. Then where it will be created? By default, a schema called DBO schema. By default, that's why if you see here, I didn't created this DBO. When I create the sales table, automatically it was created in the DBO schema. So the hierarchy is it should be created in the schema, but I didn't create it in a schema, right? So if I don't create any schema, SQL Server will have its own default schema called DBO. So in the DBO schema, it will be created, guys. This is how generally tables will be organized logically. Physically means, you know, right? Page structure and all that will be like physically. This will be like logically. So if it is default schema, no need to mention DBO also. If it is customized schema, okay, then you have to give the name of the schema here. Okay, for example, imagine this is a database. In this database, lot of departments are there. Imagine HR department. In HR, imagine this is a HR table. In HR, again, we have different operations. Some HRs will do the recruiting. Some HRs will help you in the joining. Some HRs will process your salary. Some HRs will take care of your transportation. Some HRs will take care of some other things like, right? So these are the different things they are going to do, right? So then pay related things and all will be created in the separate schema. Transportation related tables will be created in the separate schema, like transportation dot something like cabs numbers, transportation dot, okay, cab routes, like this different tables will be created. So this is a logical boundary, guys. A schema is a kind of logical boundary. If you don't give any schema, by default it will use the DBO schema. Okay, so if it is a DBO schema, here no need to mention the DBO. You can simply write database name dot sales name. See, if you run the same query, still you will get the output. If you run the same query, still you will get the output, guys, without changing the database name here. If it is a default schema, if it is a named schema, definitely you have to give the name here, guys. If it is DBO, then only you can skip the DBO. If it is named schema and all, if it's customized schema and all, you can again mention the name of the schema here. So that's how generally tables will be organized logically. So now, if I want to create a table using GUI, how to create, we'll discuss. So right click, new table, and here you will get GUI option if you don't know the query to create the table and all. So table means, you know, right? Table means it's a collection of columns. right? So you have to give each column name here. Now imagine, tell me any other table name, guys, in the Amazon. Sellers, okay, sellers table. I mean to say sellers. So the first column will be seller ID, okay, seller ID. So I'm going to choose from this. I'm going to choose. I can type integer. So integer and seller name. Okay. So I'm going to choose something like varchar of something 50. I'm going to choose location. Okay. Again, I can choose varchar of 50. So now I'm creating a table. Okay. Or else I'm going to add one more column here. Number of items processed. Okay. Or items processed. Okay. I can again give integer. So now I'm just creating, right? So now what I can do, just click on the save button. So it will ask you the table name. So I can give the table name as sellers. Okay. And click OK. Done. Table is created, guys. Okay. You can close this. Now if you just expand, you can still see sales only, right? You can just select tables and just refresh it. So you can see both the tables, sales and sellers. Sales and sellers. So now if you want to read the sellers table, same, select star from database name dot sellers.
Sellers.
I can give like this. So I can execute this command. As it's a blank table, you can see just a table with a blank columns and all, right? Now, if I want to insert the records using GUI, right click, you can choose edit top 200 rows. Now you can give the values here. Seller ID, something like 101. Tab, seller name, Mama Electronics. Okay, imagine. Location, Bangalore. Items processed, something like 400. Next, 102. Okay, something like any seller names you remember, guys? Something like this. Okay, Bima Jewelers. Okay, and maybe Hyderabad. Number of items processed 300 and 103. Okay, something like
Bajaj Electronics.
what is that? Bajaj Electronics. Okay, Bajaj Electronics. Okay, from Noida, 100 items processed. So now what you can do, you can simply close it, guys. You can simply close it. Okay, so just close it. Now you can run the same command. Now you can see all the records. So in this way, you can insert the records in the table using GUI option, guys. Okay, clear?
I have a question.
Yes, Ruth.
So if the creating of tables is the developer or other specific users are creating or inserting the data, what would be our part as a DBA?
This is how they will create the tables, or they will use some scripts and all. So maintenance part, again in SQL, we have two streams. One is completely development. Second one is DBA. DBA will always take care of the maintenance, like installations onwards, providing safety to the backups, giving access, permissions, providing security to the systems, and maintaining high availability. This is our work. Creating tables, writing the logics, okay, creating some objects related to the objects that will be taken care by the developers. As a DBA, you both have to work together, right? So based on their work only, you have to apply some changes on the server side, or you have to do some changes on the server side. So we should have some idea on the development side, not complete idea. At least what they are writing, what kind of logics they are writing, what they are doing, what kind of scripts they are running on the server. So you should have some idea. For that purpose, we have to learn these basic things.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not like we are going to do, but in the organization, generally we don't do these things. But again, developers will do this. But as a DBA in the backbone, we have to give our support to make the systems are running continuously without issues. But how come we can understand what things they are running? We should have some basic idea, right? So that's why. And sometimes we are also going to run select queries to see DBA related stuff and all. So for that, you should know select queries and some where conditions and all. So that's why this is a kind of basic T-SQL. If you have knowledge on that, it will be good to handle the queries related to the developers.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Satish.
Anna, can you also explain the script writing? Like you have written a query insert into sales value integer where we have to take integer, varchar, var, etc. You have taken.
That you can leave it, Satish. Why? Because that is not our work. Okay, so where we can take generally if it is numbers and all basic things, numbers will generally use integer. If it is name kind of stuff, we'll use varchar. Like that, it will accept. So for example, you are declaring an address. Address contains door number, street number, road number, area name. So you can see values, you can see characters also. In such scenarios, you can give varchar in case if it is going to contain, for example, Shanmukh, if it is a name, how come it will be varchar? Our side it is not varchar, but if you go to UK side, US side, William 1, John 1, like we have 1, 2, 3 names, right? So there also they will include numbers in their names, right? In India, we don't see any numbers, right? But in the US, UK side, they will have numbers in their names also. So that's why sometimes names also contains varchar. Right. So this is how generally cost means we'll have a different to manage the cost related means money related transactions. So cost means definitely it has to accept money only. So there is a data type called money. So if you go through each data type, you will get to know. But we are not going to cover the data types and all. It's not a T-SQL classes. Again, I'm saying, of course, you can ask, but again, it's not a T-SQL class. We don't cover what data type will do, what kind of things and all. As a DBA, we don't need that. If you have basic knowledge, that is enough. Okay.
In organization, we will not execute these queries, right?
We don't execute. Mostly we don't execute. If you still execute means developers can ask us to execute. We can open the script. We can check it once, what kind of things it's doing, and we can execute it blindly as developers gave the scripts and all. If you are really interested, Shanmukh, I want to learn T-SQL also, so I want to see myself in development and DBA side, which is application DBA. You can learn. There will be a separate course, T-SQL development course will be there. Like it's around 1.5 month course will be there. They are going to discuss all the data types. Like and they'll discuss procedures, functions, triggers, views. Everything will be discussed in the development course. But this is completely DBA, right? How much development we need, that much only we'll discuss in the DBA classes. Fine.
One more doubt. Creating creating tables, we will not give to you access to users, right?
No, they will only create. It's not like we'll not. So what they will do in that case? If we don't give access to users creating, it's not like a specific access we don't give. If user is asking sysadmin, if it's duty, if it's responsibility, we'll give sysadmin also to the users. It's not like we don't give access. It depends upon the project requirement. If manager is saying, we don't have any issues. We are working for one application. If application owner is saying, hey, give sysadmin access to this user, we'll definitely give it. That is their headache. If they are doing any things, if they are doing any wrong things, that they have to take care. So it's not like create permissions we don't give to the users, nothing like that. What permissions they are asking, if they have enough approvals, as a DBA, we are there to help them out. So we'll give create permissions also. We'll give delete permissions also. In that case, what developers will do if we don't give create permissions? right? Their main duty is like they have to create objects, they have to drop the objects, they have to alter the objects. So definitely we'll give the permissions. It's not like we don't give any permissions to them. Definitely we'll give it. It's not only SQL select queries will give permissions. If project needs, we'll give sysadmin permissions also in the SQL server.
Okay.
Yeah. Fine, guys. Right? One more thing, like let's discuss about the filters. Okay, let's discuss about the filters. So the main filter we have is where condition. In case you should know this, why? Because even though we are DBS, we'll use select queries. I told you, right? Imagine I want to see some values. Okay, some specific values I want to see. For example, here if you use select star means it will pull the all the columns, right? Select star from table name means it will pull all the columns. Now Shanmukh, I just want to see one or two columns from the table. I don't want to see all the columns. How can I do that? I want to see only one. In this we can see 4 columns, right? If you use select star from table name, you can see all the 4 columns here. But I want to see a single column. How can I do that? I want to see, right? I want to read. So which query to read and see? Select query, right? Select. I want to see one column. Which column you want to see?
Seller ID.
Same, any column you can choose. Seller ID from table name. Amazon. Okay, you can use drop down dot seller. That's it. Okay, so if you now you are pulling simply one column from the particular table. So what happened to my other 3 columns? Are they deleted, guys?
No.
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 Instead of, see, for example, how filtering will work, let me show you. For example, there is a Azure application, right? Azure. Imagine Azure application is there. You want to do some shopping for Diwali. You want to buy some ethnic wear. Okay. So now what you will do? You'll open Azure. For example, if you are trying to buy from the Azure, you'll open Azure. Let's go with the men. And what I'll do? I'll go with ethnic wear, ethnic and festive wear. Okay. So we'll choose this option. So you can see some kurtas, kurtis, whatever it is. So you'll get some of the options here. Okay. Right. Just a minute. It's loading. It is taking time. Now you can see, right? So now how many items I can see, guys, here? 32,000 items I can see. So who will have time to see all 32,000 items? So the Diwali will be completed if you are keep checking each and every item. Okay. So now what you can do here? You are going to apply some filters, right? So I want some kurtas and shirts, or else I want some suit sets. Whatever it is, you will select here. Okay. When you select this item, out of 32,000, you can see 5,600 items. That doesn't mean remaining items are deleted, right? No, you are just applying a filter. You can see other items also if you remove the filter. So I want to see some suit sets. Okay, I can choose some suit sets like this. You can see. I want to see some colors. Okay, so I want to see some blue color, something like that. So now I want to see out of 32,000 products, we just filtered 705 products. Still we can filter. Okay, in case if you want to buy from any brand. Okay, Fab India I want to buy. So now see, out of 32,000 products, I am able to pull one kurta, okay, right, from the particular table using this where condition. So you can use where, I'll forget about the where condition, we'll discuss later. I mean to say now only, but this is called filtering. I mean to say this is how filtering will be applied, guys. If you apply filters, generally based on the filters, now suit sets is one filter, men is one filter, Fab India brand is one filter, color is one filter. See how many filters you are applying here. Based on the filters you are choosing, sometimes you can see the 32,000 items will become 1 item, 2 items, or 100 items, or 5,000 items like that. So based on the condition you are giving, that particular items will be shown as per your condition. That doesn't mean other items are deleted. If you remove the filter again, you can see all the items. Clear, guys? In the same way, in the SQL Server also, we have filters. Okay. If I want to see specific column, you can use select a particular column name from table name. I want to see 2 columns, guys. What is the query? Tell me. Very simple. Very simple.
Comma.
Comma. Comma.
Seller location.
That's
What
it.
is the
Something, whatever you want, seller name you want to see. Okay.
Yeah.
So now you can see out of 4 columns, you can see 2 columns, seller ID and name. You want to see something location of the seller. Okay. Location is there. Huh? What is the table name, guys? Location only. Let me check. Right. Location. You can see like this. So you want to see 3 columns, seller ID, comma, seller name, comma, location. You want to see all columns?
Star.
Star. Star we can use to see all the columns. So like this, we can filter the columns. If I want to filter the rows, okay. So now if you see, I'm going to remove this and I'm going to use this star again, right? So I can use this now. Now I want to see all the sellers from Hyderabad location. I want to see all the sellers from Hyderabad location. So let me, what I can do, insert, where is my insert query service? Okay, I just inserted using GUI, right? Okay,
Yeah.
do that. Insert into, what is the table name?
Seller.
Amazon. You can choose this here. Okay, and insert into table name seller.
Sellers.
Sellers, right?
Yeah.
Sellers. Okay, and certain table name values. Okay, and 104 something like what is that jewelry companies? Tell me any sellers, guys. Something like that. Sorry.
Reliance.
Reliance.
DMart.
Okay. Reliance and from Hyderabad, imagine. Okay, close it. Is it sellers only? Why I'm getting wrong? SqlDBA, right? Sellers only. Column name supplied. Okay, got it. So what I have to do, guys? What is the error? How to fix this error?
So, seller ID, seller name, seller location.
And number of sales, right? Instead of 4
Data.
columns, I'm giving only 3 values.
Okay.
Is saying column name or number of supplied values does not match the table definition. In the table we have 4 values, 4 columns. I'm giving 3 values only, so that's why it is not allowing me. Okay, comma, something like 500 sales. So now you can execute. Done. Okay, so like this, what I'm going to do, Control C, Control V. Guys, I want to run the same statement for 10 times. How can I do that? I want to run the same statement, the statement which I have selected. I want to run this statement for 10 times. What can I do? For 100 times, what can I do? Shanmukh selected, execute it for 100 times. Execute, execute, execute. So who will count 100 times? Difficult, right? Guys, for executing query, we have shortcut also. This is execute, right? One more shortcut is F5, function key F5. Another shortcut is Alt plus X. Alt plus X. Okay, now I'm using Alt X, guys, instead of execute button. So now if I want to run the same statement for 10 times, just give go 10 or go 100. Okay, so how many times you'll give? That many times this query will run. Okay, select these 2 lines, execute it. Done. Okay, now if you see the table, Amazon sellers, now you can see more than 100 records. See, total 105 records are there. right? So in this way, if you want to run for multiple times, 100 times or 1000 times, you can run it, but generally we don't use it in the real time. The records are not going to be duplicated, right? Just to show you sometimes for testing purpose. Now I want to see all the sellers from Hyderabad location. So what query I have to run? I have
We
105
use
records.
where
Correct.
location is equals to Hyderabad.
So there is a filter called where condition. Okay, where which filter we are going to apply? Location, right?
Yeah.
Location is equal to single quotes as it is a character Hyderabad. Okay, and then you can run this query all text. Now you can see 105 records, right? If you execute this query, now you can see 103 records. Out of 105, 103 records are from Hyderabad location. If you just select this particular section, if you execute, how many records I can see now?
All records.
105 records I can see. But if you are executing the whole statement, you can see 103 records only. Now tell me, guys, I want to see the seller with the seller ID 103.
Where seller
Where
ID?
seller ID is equals to 10.
103.
That's it. Very good. Very good. Where seller ID is equal to 103. Where seller ID is equal to, no need to keep it in single quotes. It's not a character. So you can just select this. You can see one record out of 105 records. You can see one record. Now tell me, I want to see all the sellers, those who processed more than 200 items.
Where items processed equal to 200.
Greater than 200.
Searching.
Is equal to 200 means you will get all the sellers with a 200. Greater than 200 means you will get all
The seller which is more than
200.
Like that, you can just plan it, guys. Okay.
Okay.
Like that, you can plan it. So items processed is equal to greater than 200. Okay. Now you can see all the are greater than or equal to 200. You can see all the sellers, it's not showing is equal to, no? Okay, it's not showing equal to. Right, it's showing from 300 onwards. 400, 300, 500 only. Right, so this is the assignment, guys. I want to see all the records, okay, which is like greater than or equal to a specific value. So you can use the same tables and all. This is the assignment. You have to let me know the answer in the next class. Okay, so check it, very easy, check it and let me know the answer. I want to see 200 and more than 200 in the output, guys. I want to see 200 and more than 200 also. So this is how we can process the, I mean to say we can filter the records based on the where condition, guys. Yes, Satish.
Here you have written a select query, right?
Correct.
And at the Amazon and dot sellers, the underline it is showing in red mark. That means is that meaning that we are doing some syntax error?
No, not like that. Sometimes it will still show you the red mark. Okay, why? Because now you know that dot without giving schema name and all you can still give. Okay, but again, sometimes it will show you red mark. That doesn't mean there is an error here. Your question is valid. I thought someone will ask in the beginning itself. Okay, here also if you see it is showing red mark only, that doesn't mean there is an issue here. Sometimes it will show the error. Okay, invalid object name. It will treat the whole thing as an object, single object. So that's why it is like going to show you error kind of thing. It don't treat like this is a database name, then schema name, then table name. It is treating the whole. After select query, it will expect the object name, right? If you simply give sellers, it will show you like no error. But if you give database name dot schema name dot table name or database name dot schema table name, it will think that this is a single object. As there is no such object, it will simply show you like red color kind of thing. But it's not an error.
Yeah. So in that where
So in this case, if we click on parse, so that will be
It will be successful. Yeah, if you see here.
Can you select the below one, the select query? Okay, okay.
Yeah. Right? Fine. So, yes, please.
Tomorrow,
Yeah,
Diwali is
tomorrow.
there.
So that's now tell me, guys, it's your choice. Now, do you want me to take class for tomorrow morning, or can we skip the class for tomorrow morning? So what do you say? Tell me. Based on that, we'll finalize.
Please skip.
We can skip it.
Yeah.
I need
So evening we can skip if required, but morning you no issues. 7 to 9:30.
So let's do one thing, okay? Use your chat boxes. You can send direct messages to me, whether if you want class in the morning. Of course, evening anyhow we are going to skip it. Morning in the evening there is no class because of festival. In the morning, if you want class, yes. In the morning, if you don't want class, type no and send it to me. We'll go with the majority. Just now. Now itself we can do that. You can send direct messages to me. Don't hesitate to send the messages, guys.
What is the topic you will be covering?
Yeah, same. It will continue. So the next thing is like maybe we just discuss it, right? Maybe tomorrow morning we'll discuss system databases. If there is no class tomorrow morning, in the next class it will be discussed. Are you typing anything? Okay, I got 15 responses. 15, 16 responses. Guys, this is not a technical question. You can respond, guys, no issues. And I'm going to add the assignment, okay? Create employee table in the Amazon database, okay? Amazon database. And insert 100 records or insert 10 records, okay? And select or filter the records and the columns, okay? Or else let me write like this, okay? Write query, okay. Write query to filter all the employees from Hyderabad location, okay? From Hyderabad location. Write query to see all the employees drawing more than 10,000. Right, okay. Now these are the, you can complete in 5 to 10 minutes hardly, believe me. Don't think like a lot of questions are there. Very simple, okay. Done, guys. Let me check this now, okay. And guys, you have to update this assignment section also. I'll create one more page called updates in case if any updates are there, like sudden cancellation of classes and all, that also will be updated in the tracker, okay. I'll add one more page, okay, updates page.
Also, I want that software, this folder.
Which software? Which software, Satish? Satish, huh?
Yes, yes. I installed the VMware. Actually, I told you, right, I had a issue with my laptop, so that was clear. So I am trying to reinstall my VMware.
Okay.
So I have to.
You already have the access. Check in your Google Drive shared with me, guys. Google Drive shared with me. You can see the softwares. One folder will be already shared with you guys. You can see softwares folder. In that, all the softwares will be there.
I don't believe. Just give me a second.
Yeah, you can check now itself. No issues. Don't check in the mobile phone. Okay. Check in the laptop, guys. Right. Let me check this morning class. I want Chandra. No, no, yes, no, no, yes, no. Right, right, right. So so majority of the people are saying they don't want class tomorrow morning because of the festival. So I respect you guys, your opinion. So there is no class tomorrow, guys. Okay, morning and evening, and again we'll meet on Saturday, next Saturday morning 7 a.m. IST. Okay.
Okay, bro. Sir?
Yes, please.
Sir, the people who manage the database are called as DBA, right? The people who write the codes or queries,
Developers.
what is the developer role?
Developer, yeah.
If we want to see the roles for developer, we need to search SQL developer, right?
Correct, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, developer needs development, scripting language, coding and all. So in case if you are interested, like you have to learn scripting also, T-SQL query, coding, everything you have to learn. Development side.
Right, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
So one question, what is difference between T-SQL? I don't know. I know SQL, Oracle, but I don't know about T-SQL.
T-SQL, see, if you are in Andhra, you will use Telugu language. If you are in North India, you will use Hindi. Okay. So if you are in another country, you will use different language. Like as per the country, as per the state, the language is changing, right? In the same way, we have different RDBMS softwares. We have SQL Server, we have PLSQL, we have MySQL, we have NoSQL, different RDBMS softwares, DBMS softwares are there. If you want to talk to the Microsoft SQL Server, you need one language called T-SQL. See, for all the Indian languages, what is the mother, guys? What is the mother language? Sanskrit.
Hindi.
Sanskrit, right? Sanskrit is the main language. From Sanskrit, lot of languages came, right? In the same way, SQL is the main language. This SQL, Microsoft will use it as a T-SQL. The same SQL, Oracle will use it as a PLSQL. The same SQL, they will do some modifications and MySQL people will use. The mother is like SQL only. So as per the vendor's requirement, people are going to do some changes to the SQL language. So Microsoft is owning it as a T-SQL. Oracle is owning it as a PLSQL. And JetSQL. Like this, we have different SQL languages are there.
Okay. And you said that you have sent a link to Google for software. So
Correct.
how?
Go to your Google Drive, the
Okay.
registered mail account, and click on left side. You can see shared with me option. Click on shared with me. You can see the items that I have shared with you. In that, there is a folder called softwares. So you can see that folders.
Okay.
Okay. And notes, I guess you can see in your Gmail. Generally, I use it to send to multiple people, many people at a time, so that it will go to spam box. So keep checking spam box also. So next what I'll do, I'll create a folder for notes also. I'll keep uploading the notes to the folder itself so that you will have direct access to the folder itself. Okay.
So for this course, for practice purpose, we are downloading with Oracle VirtualBox, and then we are installing SQL Server inside it.
Correct, correct, correct.
Okay, okay. And when you are saying RDP, it means when you are showing us these are today all you are opening in the VirtualBox.
In the VirtualBox only, I'm using my virtual server. I just created in the last class, right? Using that server, I just connected and I'm running all these things.
Okay, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I missed
Just
few classes.
yeah,
I
go
will.
through the beginning, you go through the initial classes. You can see all these things so that you can also, okay, be on track in the next class.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I will catch up all that, and I will install all those things. And
Yeah.
if I have any question, I will let you know.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Also, Anna, have you uploaded the morning class?
I already uploaded. Not sure whether you subscribed.
I subscribed it. YouTube channel I have subscribed.
So it's already uploaded, and it was uploaded by 1:45 p.m. So it was uploaded like a premium. Okay, premium means it will play automatically like a live class. Okay, so source university, and go to this channel and go to the playlist and check the batch 52 playlist, right? And you can see the ninth video. Okay, so you can directly see in our channel itself. Go back, and if you go to this video section, and there you can see, okay, ninth video, class 9, changing service account and port number, uploaded 7 hours ago.
And for today class, you will upload maybe tomorrow or
Yeah,
sometime.
tomorrow I'll upload.
Perfect. Thanks.
Can you send notes today?
Sorry?
Did you send the notes to
Already sent the notes. Please check your spam. But if, of course, spam, right? Spam, generally it will miss. Still, if you don't receive, not an issue. Just ping me in the WhatsApp. I'll check and I'll send it again. Okay, not an issue.
Yeah, I have not received. Still, just
No
refresh.
problem. No problem. No problem. Why? Because you are checking now. I just sent 3 weeks back itself when you registered. Okay. So spam items will be deleted time to time. You have to check immediately. That's okay. No issues. We'll send it again. Okay.
Sir, does Microsoft Access have the same queries like SSS?
Microsoft Access. Sorry, Microsoft.
Microsoft Access have the same queries like in the SSMS?
Microsoft Access also kind of same queries. Why? Because all are Microsoft products, right? So yes. Means you're asking like, can I run? Right. In case if you're asking, can I run Microsoft Access queries through SSMS? That is not possible, I think. Okay, I'm not sure on that.
Sir, no, sir. I thought if I want to select query in the Microsoft Access, can I use it? It's the same query, same syntax.
If you have integration, see, SSMS don't think I can run select query only in the SSMS. I can use multiple options, like we have SSMS one tool. We have, what is that, Visual Studio. Using Visual Studio, you can do that. Microsoft Access, okay, I never tried, but maybe if there is integration between Microsoft Access and your SQL Server, that is possible. You can run. But there should be a connection between your Access and SQL Server.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Wish you all a happy Diwali to you and your family, Shanmukh sir, and all my friends.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank
So
you,
wish you a
Murali.
happy
Same to
Diwali,
you.
guys. Okay, wish you a
Happy Diwali, sir.
safe Diwali.
Happy Diwali, bro.
Take care. Yeah.
Happy Diwali, everyone.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, and happy Diwali to everyone. Okay, just
So
make
for
sure.
the US based, are we meeting next Friday?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye everyone.
Bye, sir.
Thank you,
guys.
everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye, sir. Happy Diwali.
Yeah. Bye. Happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali.